George and Jeannie have been very generous to the college over the years. George was the kind of guy who rolled his sleeves up and got something done. He was a member of on the board of directors of the Pulp and Paper Foundation. And when he retired, ITT Rainier made a donation to create a scholarship in his name to honor him. He, over 30 years of generous donations to the college, supporting the Alumni Association and the annual giving program here that we use primarily for scholarships for students. And I just wanted to thank Jeannie and everyone. That I think it's a great way to honor George. The money that was used for all the donations in this building, for naming donations, including this one, go into a fund to provide scholarships, housing scholarships for students in this building. So the legacy of giving and supporting the college will continue permanently in the future. So thank you very much.
Well, as a LEED certified professional, I really appreciate the quality of this building. And when we talked to Dana originally about doing this with Mom's gift goes to the college in Dad's name, they showed us this beautiful plaque, and I want to bring your attention to the plaque behind Tim, which is on the wall honoring Dad, the Jeanne Creamer Lounge, which is the official lounge. But we also wanted to have a piece of artwork that kind of symbolized Dad and his view of the college. So with that, this is a piece of artwork that was created in his honor by Agnes Ann Ingram. She goes by Agnes Ann in her artwork. It's a beautiful cut paper piece, and framed archivally in museum quality framing, so it should last a lifetime and give us all pause to kind of think of Dad. And I'll tell you a little bit about the symbolism of the piece. The tree obviously kind of stands for Dad and this kind of steadfast nature for us all and for his community. He was a lover of blue birds, and so we thought we'd make the birds blue in just that kind of honor. You remember he had bluebird boxes at the farm. And when we were putting the piece together, we realized that the blue didn't really contrast with the gray background very well, and so they kind of faded away. And we had the idea, well, what if we were to change them to white when they go onto the gray background? And kind of symbolism of the dove of peace. He was a very faithful man. He was also just a peacemaker, so that's kind of why the birds kind of change over. And if you look carefully, the birds literally change halfway right when they go from the white to the gray. And then the roots of the tree, and also the birds flying away are kind of symbolizing the things that he did, the gifts that he made to society, the gifts that he made to his community, and the gifts that he made to us as his close family members. I mean, he was always giving and spreading his wisdom, and so the birds flying off the tree and kind of spreading out are reminding me and the artist of that kind of feeling. And then in the base of the tree, in the roots, we have his name and his lifespan, May 16th, 1921 to September 6th, 2009, and a quote from him that Mom thought that best symbolized his kind of ethos. The key to one's life is to love and be loved. And so that's written in the bottom. And then the roots, in the roots are those things which we felt like were the foundations and expressed kind of the essence of Dad. And there was a lot of people who gave us input here, both people in the family, and I even asked people outside the family who knew him. And they read in the roots, in case you can't see from where you are, humility. Obviously we know he was an incredibly humble man. Faith and love, because his faith was very, very important to him, and he was a very loving, giving man. We use the word naturalist because for sure from the roots of his core, he was a naturalist through and through. Leadership, in kind of thinking about his career, not only in AT&T, but leadership that he showed, whether it was with the Boy Scouts or the school board or in the community. Generosity, obviously he was an incredibly generous man, and his legacy continues to give us things like this today. Wisdom, we like to think of him as wise, and he mostly expressed that around the dinner table to us. And compassion. And compassion is the last one that we have written here on the roots, and because he was incredibly compassionate and understanding, and he served to ease a lot of the tensions that we felt in the family, and certainly he was compassionate about the ills of the world. So with that, there's our piece. It's going to hang here permanently. And then I'm going to send a little, the director of the Grand Rapids Art Museum helped me with a little, some verbiage, and I've asked Dana if he could make a little kind of museum plaque which will explain the artwork, which will hang flat on the wall. I was just thinking of something that's not paper, something that's permanent, like you'd see with a piece of art, that will, when a student comes up to it, they might gain a little bit better understanding of who this George B. Creamer was and why we have this piece. So that'll be very succinct, and that's the thing, is making it succinct enough so it doesn't eclipse the piece. But with that, there's our artwork.